Hello, online crew. I've got a very special guest today. How many of you remember Mr. Ferny? Ferny is a mentor of mine, has been for a number of years. He's that trusted confidant that gives you a little push when you need it sometimes and helps me in my business. And I'm fortunate to have somebody like Ferny in my corner, and I'm just so grateful every time he comes and speaks to you guys here in our online crew. So Ferny's going to talk to us today about the future of network marketing. This is a really cool topic. This is kind of where we're at, if you like, with network marketing, this day and age, technology, everything we've got made available to us, how scary that is, how daunting that can be, but the opportunity that's in front of us all to embrace it, as long as we don't let it kind of daunt us. So share with me in the comments, who knows Ferny? Just say, yes, I do in the comments, or no, I don't. Would love to know, how many of you are familiar with Ferny, but I've had him on with me here with our online crew a number of times. And so Ferny, thank you for giving up your time to come and share what you're going to share with our audience about the future of network marketing. So hold tight, guys, get rid of all distractions. I really want you to listen to this conversation and what Sherney's Sherney.
Who's Sherney?
That's your new nickname if you didn't know. I have my own dictionary, Ferny. I make up my own words.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Ferny is going to share with you. So thank you so much, Ferny, for being here with me today. And everyone's saying hello to you. Some of you don't know you, some of you do. So I'm going to get Ferny to share a little bit, for those of you that don't, a little bit about his story, his background. He's only earned, I don't know, about $40 million online in his career. He's just, a little bit successful. Oh, more than that, is it now? How much is it now, Ferny? Is it 50 or 60? 50. Okay. So Ferny knows a thing or two when it comes to, one, network marketing. He was what I call, still is, kind of like the godfather of attraction marketing. So Ferny was one of those people that very early on embraced attraction marketing instead of building the traditional ways. And he can share a little bit about that story with you. And obviously that journey just keeps continuing. So if there's something to learn about the modern way of doing things, Ferny's on the forefront of that. And the people Ferny surrounds himself with are on the forefront of that. So there's always lots of cool information for Ferny to share. So I'll be quiet now, Ferny, if you would like to share a little bit about yourself.
You don't need to be quiet.
For those that don't know you, if you could just share a little bit about your journey, that'd be awesome.
Absolutely. Well, Helen, it's always a pleasure. You're one of my favorite people in the world. Definitely, absolutely one of my favorite people in this industry, but just love seeing you, love hanging out with you. You're always this ray of sunshine. So just, I truly mean that. So, and I get how come your community is so passionate. They love you, they follow you, they're loyal. And that's the foundation of attraction marketing is service and, having people look forward to when they have the opportunity to hear from you, to learn from you, to watch you. And so you do attraction marketing just as good as anyone I've ever seen. So it's an honor to be here.
Thank you, Ferny.
Yeah. So I guess I'll share a little bit about my background. I see there might be some people that don't know about me and my background, but so I got started in network marketing in 2005. My life prior to network marketing was I'm an MIT educated aerospace engineer. I have a degree in computer science and electrical engineering. I was super nerd growing up, and I grew up in a loving but poor neighborhood and poor family, but that's pretty much all the the negative. I grew up in a neighborhood where there was a lot of gangs and a lot of bad influences, but my parents were just amazing in terms of bringing us up and insulating us from all that. And I did really well in school and ultimately went to MIT and had an amazing time there. And coming out of there, one of the things about a school like MIT, if you want to know what makes like an Ivy League school or one of these elite schools or Caltech or MIT uh different from other institutions, at least back when I was there, was just how they brainwash the crap out of you to just believe that you're the best in the world at whatever you're going to do. And when I went to MIT, like immediately they were selling the dream, but I think they sell the dream even better than network marketing. I think they sell the dream like it's like you're a fill in the blank student, you're a Harvard student, you're an MIT student, you're the best in the world at out of anyone. Like you made it to this school, that means you're the best and the brightest. You can do anything you want, accomplish anything in the world. And so that's the reason people come out of these schools. One of the reasons they come out of these schools to like do these incredible things, like these launch these companies, these startups, invent these different gadgets and technology. It's because they're brainwashed to believe that they can do anything. And here's the thing, when somebody's at MIT or Harvard or whatever, they learn the same thing you learn at a state school. They learn the same thing you learn at a public school. Physics is physics, calculus is calculus, chemistry is chemistry. They use the same books as the schools that are way less expensive. Now they do make it hard. They do make it like extremely challenging. So like they grill you really hard, but they also are like constantly speaking these affirmations to you about how amazing you are. And you eventually start to believe it. And so when I came out of MIT and I got a job in the aerospace industry, I was working for a defense contractor, top secret space stuff for the government. I had clearances. I was working in missile defense, and I hated it. So all of that was to say, like, I hated working where I was working. I just ultimately I wasn't passionate about engineering. I wasn't doing something I enjoyed. I was working for somebody else, so I was working on stuff I didn't control and own. I was, I had to get up early and drive through traffic an hour and a half to, and then an hour and a half from work. So that's 3 hours of traffic. And so I was spending 8 hours plus 3 hours a day doing something that I really didn't enjoy doing. Now, it wasn't a bad job. It was a cushy job. It was like relative to what my parents did to get by and scrape by. Like I had made it, but I didn't feel fulfilled. And this is where the brainwashing from MIT comes from. The brainwashing was just didn't allow me to settle for anything less than an amazing life and for especially financial freedom and time freedom. And so I just started searching. I started searching for something that was going to get me out of my predicament. And I couldn't find anything. I went back to school to basically. I was the only thing I knew how to do. Well, if you want to do better, go back to school. And so I went to grad school. And then that was just going to lead me down the path where I was going to do more of what I didn't enjoy doing. And I had a homework partner, a person that I went to grad school with, invite me to a meeting. And he invited me to a meeting. Uh, and he said there were a bunch of engineers getting together and they were looking at starting a business. And I thought it was like a Silicon Valley startup, or I think that they had like some sort of dream to have some sort of like tech startup. That's what I thought it was. But it turned out to be a meeting for network marketing. And I hated every minute of that meeting. I didn't want to do a network marketing. I had no interest in it. I was one of those guys like, is this a pyramid scheme? But then I left and it was like, it gnawed at me the idea that possibly if there was like a slight chance, little itty bitty chance that this could work and result in my financial freedom and being able to quit my job and be able to wake up in the morning whenever I feel like it. And I'd have to like wake up to an alarm clock and drive through traffic. And I'm one of those drivers that if I'm sleepy, I'm going to fall asleep on the wheel. So I'm like driving braille. I'm like hitting like the side. So it's like it'd possibly save my life too. I don't know.
Probably.
So I just after 2 weeks of contemplating, even though I hated everything about what I heard, I decided to give it a shot. I decided to really go for it because no one else had offered me a different opportunity that was an alternative to what I was doing. And I built it old school for 9 months, old school network marketing stuff, belly to belly, home meetings, home parties, one-on-one meetings, prospecting everyone you ran into. And I did that for 9 months, and I built a team pretty quickly. I was also using a lot of deceptive strategies because that's what I was taught to do. Um, a lot of stuff I didn't enjoy doing. Most of it I didn't enjoy doing, but I did it anyway because I was really motivated to get out of my job. And but then my team wasn't as motivated as I was. They didn't have the MIT brainwashing that I had around, like, don't settle for anything less than your dream. They, didn't have that type of mindset. And so they all just didn't really want to do what I was willing to do. And they ended up quitting. And before I knew it, I was the last man standing in my team. And I was like, it sucks to work so hard and have, you know, no one do anything after that. And so I was pretty much ready to throw in the towel. And then I started searching online. I forgot what I was searching. I wasn't really searching for solutions. I think I was just browsing, learning stuff about, my company and network marketing. And then I saw an ad for this website that offered to teach how to build a network marketing business on the internet, online, in a very different way, and not completely railing against old school belly to belly network marketing strategy. Like it's like, that stuff is like the internet's killed that way of building. Here's the new way of building. So I jumped in and started learning, and honestly, it was like a breath of fresh air. I loved what I was hearing about building online, and I felt like, first and foremost, I was being spoken to like an adult. Here are the business skills you got to learn. Here are the marketing skills you got to learn in order to be able to build this business on the internet. And you got to become a professional at this. Don't view it like one of those things or one of those pyramid things or one of those side businesses. This is like a profession. You got to treat it like a profession. So there was a lot of mindset, but also a lot of new ways of that I was being exposed to that just made total sense to me. And we're out, in my upline, what they were teaching was just bring more people to meetings, bring more people to meetings. And I'd sit through like a 2-hour training where pretty much the takeaway was bring more people to meetings. And I was like, but how do I do that? Like, teach me stuff. And they weren't teaching crap. They were just telling me what to do, not how to do it. And so finally somebody was teaching me how to do something, and it was a different something. It was something just far more appealing. And long story short, within 2 years of finding these strategies, I was able to quit my job and became a six-figure earner shortly thereafter in my network marketing company. I ended up growing one of the largest residual income checks in my company because what I was able to do not only worked for recruiting people, I was able to attract people that were experienced in network marketing, top earners, seven-figure earners who joined my team and crushed it as their upline. And so I was able to not only recruit, but I was able to attract some really power players using these strategies. And so it was when it's called attraction marketing, that's when it's
Yeah.
really working. It's like you're attracting, drawing people to you. It becomes effortless. It's not effortless in the beginning. You're putting in work in the beginning, but at a certain point, you hit your stride, and it really does become effortless. Um, I went on to build a training company, and one of the first events-based training companies in network marketing. My first event had 1,000 people show up at a hotel in Las Vegas to learn from the very best of the people that were building online at the time. And the thing back then is, when it comes to building online, back then it was nowhere near as easy, as simple as it is today. Back then, in order to do stuff online, you had to build websites, build funnels, and there were no easy tools to build that. I had to code. I had to code in HTML and PHP,
Oh,
building
no.
websites. I had to learn how to, like, websites pass information to each other through this hidden code on computers. And I had specialized software that helped me code up these websites and design them. And they look terrible, but they worked. And so that was probably the biggest obstacle for people. The biggest obstacle back then in attraction marketing wasn't like people's fear of picking up the phone or people's fear of prospecting. The biggest obstacle for attraction marketing was technology,
Yeah.
and people get, being willing to actually learn how to do these things so that they can get the result. And frankly, I'd much rather learn how to code. And I don't, like I said, I was an engineer. I didn't like engineering. I didn't like programming. I learned how to program at the most elite school in the world, but I didn't like doing that. But I sure as hell was fine doing it for building my business. I was like, let's do this. And the type of
Mm,
programming wasn't even, very hard. It was just, it can be intimidating for people that had never done it before. And so
mm.
that's probably the biggest mindset block that people will have when doing attraction marketing back then, was they'd be afraid of the technology, therefore they don't do anything, when it actually is the easiest part relative to everything else. It's actually today, it's so easy, especially today, it's so easy to hire somebody or find a tool that basically does everything for you without you having to code up anything. But it still worked. Back then it still worked. And people got amazing results. And we'll be talking about an event we're having in a few months. But there's somebody speaking at that event that actually was somebody that started at the same time I did. They were learning attraction marketing the same time I did. They actually became successful in their business faster and at a bigger scale than I did at the time. He was my peer. He learned faster. And today, as a result of learning those skills, he owns his own network marketing company that's done over $1 billion in sales in the US
Really?
alone. And
Wow.
and so it's just it's pretty awesome, the people I've gotten to meet. Um and today, one of the things that happened was in 2014 I was asked to partner with my mentor, whose website I initially found
Mhm.
and taught me these skills. And I was able to merge my business with the business the company that actually trained me initially. And so together we joined forces, and we've together built the first um, and biggest mentorship program in the network marketing space that teaches digital strategies. And one commitment I always made is that I would never hold back. I would never censor myself. I will never not teach something because I thought a leader would not want me to teach that to their team. I just
Mhm.
didn't care. I don't. I want to be. I want to treat others the way I would want to be treated. And if there's a strategy that works, I want to be exposed to it. I want to learn it, and I want to be on the bleeding edge. And so, at Attraction Marketing, which is the name of the company today, that I'm a co-founder and co-owner, that's our commitment. We don't hold back. If there's something that works, uh, regardless of what leaders in network marketing think is duplicatable or not duplicatable, if I've seen somebody succeed with it or I've succeeded with it, that strategy, that way of doing it, I'm gonna teach it. I'm gonna reverse engineer it, prove it, and teach it, because not every strategy is for everybody. People have different personalities. Some people are extroverts, some people are introverts. Some people love social media, some people hate social media. Some people love technology, some people hate technology. And so all because we're all of different stripes, that means there's probably a different adaptation of attraction marketing that'll be right for you. And I love to teach and share what I know is working for people in network marketing, regardless of what any leader thinks I should or shouldn't be teaching. Um,
Mm.
I think the grand majority of leaders in network marketing that are trainers, either actively building or retired, I think they censor themselves. They intentionally don't talk about certain things because they're afraid of other leaders with big teams no longer referring business to them.
Mm.
Because, oh, you're teaching the wrong thing. I don't want you to teach that. I don't have that problem because I do my own referrals. I do my own marketing, my own advertising. And if somebody doesn't like what I teach, then they can go pound sand.
Yeah, the interesting thing is you would think somebody that's earned as much money as Ferny has and has the following that he does and the impact that he does in the industry, that you would probably see him everywhere. But he's quite quiet on his socials. He's earned his dues. He's done all of that in the past, and he has smarter strategies now, to attract people to him and his company. So there is a way for every single one of you to make attraction marketing fit. Some of you that will be organic, some of you that will be like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. There's platforms, there's YouTube, there's choices. There's so many choices now, I think, Ferny, I'm sure you'd agree, online that that people can build their businesses with, whether that's organic or whether that's paid strategies, like depending on how they build. It's just a matter of, I guess, simplifying and working out what fits for that person. Would that be fair to say, Ferny? Because there's so much now. I think to the point where some people actually get overwhelmed by it. And like you said in their heading, Techno Phobia, some people get a little bit scared of it, but there's an opportunity for every single person, I think, to get better results in their business with something that fits with their strategy and what they want to achieve. That includes the opportunity of technology now that we've never had before. Did that make sense, what I just said?
Absolutely. I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect strategy that's going to be perfect for everybody. Some strategies you're going to be either you're going to need to put in money or put in your time. Either you're going to need to either invest your time to keep that strategy going, or you're going to need to learn skills of technology that are technology related, so that you can learn how to create more automation and leverage through systems. And there's always a trade-off. And so I've done all of it. I've done organic marketing. I've done obviously belly to belly and traditional network marketing, which I understand how to do it. I'm really good at it and I hate it, so I don't do it. I've done social media marketing. I was the number one influencer on a social network that's not around anymore. And in front of 500,000 people, that was my audience. And I was really good at it and I really loved it. I really enjoyed it at the time. But then that social network became defunct and it the following went away. And so that taught me, well, it was awesome. I got a lot. I was getting like at least 70 leads. My email list was growing by like 70 to 100 leads a day from what I was doing on social media. And it was just like flooding in. The social network, actually, funny thing, operates very much like TikTok today. So it was like ahead of its time in terms of how it worked and how it gave exposure. And I did it by being very active on the platform, creating great content, interacting with people, answering questions, adding value. Um, and I did really well. And that was the great thing. I could just hop on a platform and crush it. But the trade-off is I didn't own the platform. It was very time intensive. And eventually I kind of lost my passion for doing it that way, for marketing that way. And at the time I was also learning and developing my skills for how to automate my marketing through advertising, as opposed through investing my time creating content, interacting. And at a certain point, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go all in with advertising and automation and automate as much of my business as possible. Because honestly, I didn't really want to work that hard anymore. It was like I was ambitiously lazy. But the trade-off is I have to learn these skill sets. I have to learn the technology that would enable me to do that. Which, I'm not passionate about. I'm actually not very passionate about technology. I want to know is just enough technology to help me accomplish what I need to accomplish, and that's it. I don't really geek out on tech stuff. I've pretty much forgotten everything I learned at MIT about computer programming and circuits and all that stuff. I have all the books. They're right there. They're all the books and all the stuff I did, but I don't do that stuff anymore. I hire people to do that for my company. They'll do it way better and they'll enjoy it a lot more than I will. So I actually don't enjoy technology, but if it's a means to an end, I do it and I get really excited about it because of the vision I have for what it's going to do for me and what I'm creating. And so I got really excited about learning advertising and automating. And the trade-off there is I have to invest a little bit of money and my time initially to get it ramped up. But once I get it profitable, then the more money I put in, the more money I make. And so today, as we speak today, I'll have like grown my audience and generated between 100 to 200 leads. My audience growing by 100 to 200 people on my email list. I have generated between 20 to 40 customers. And I didn't do any work today to generate those customers. I didn't do any work today to generate 100 leads and 200 leads per day. But I did the work before and set the system in motion, and now it's working. And so now I focus on my time on what happens after they become customers, after I got them into my process. That's where I spend most of my time. And so that's what I teach our students. If you want to use automation, then you invest a little money and time up front to eventually get it automated, get it so that it pays for itself. And then at that point, you'll never run out of prospects to talk to. And one of my students, she just set up, she had set up something called a funnel. It's a system called a funnel that does lead generation. So she's running ads, generating leads, and growing an audience. And then she's converting those leads, inviting those people to take a look at her business. And those people that raise their hand and go, yeah, I'm interested in taking a look at it, at an income opportunity. They watch she has a 10-minute video. They watch that 10-minute video. And at that point, if they're interested in joining her, then they book a call with her automatically on their own. And then they just show up on a call with her. And the first time she talks to any of them is on that call, and she's closing people. People are joining her business. And the only part where she's actively doing something is showing up to the call and going, hello, nice to meet you, for the first time. And they've already watched the video about her opportunity and what she can provide people and her philosophy. And they're like, at most they have a few questions, and then they're ready to get started.
So they're highly qualified people. So you're not wasting, and I'm sure a lot of you listening can relate to that or catching the replay, that sometimes we need to weed through a lot of people to get the people to actually join or sign up as a customer or a teammate or whatever. So what Ferny is explaining there is drawing out highly qualified people. So when you do spend your time and energy with somebody, they're already halfway over the line. I mean, that's the opportunity of attraction marketing. So, in your mind, Ferny, I mean, the title of this training, The Future of Network Marketing, is here. So what do you really see, and the technology side of it? So what do you see for the average person that's listening to this training? They want more results in their business. They're struggling. Maybe they've been in their industry for a while, and they're like, there's got to be an easier way, or I'm so overwhelmed with all the choices. What do I concentrate on? Like, where do you see the future of network marketing for, the average sort of network marketer? What would you recommend?
Yeah, I think if you're not building online, you're dead in the water. That's gonna, there'll always be some low level activity of people building traditional way. That's not going to go away completely. But if you don't enjoy doing, you got to love doing that to do it that way. And if you don't enjoy doing that, you're just doing it because your upline's telling you to do it. Like, you need to become an entrepreneur, business owner, and start thinking independently, because your upline's weighing you down in that situation. And they're just, network marketing is the only profession, industry, market that I've ever seen where leaders in the space are intentionally resisting change, resisting evolution, resisting innovation. They'll innovate. Network marketing companies innovate products all the time. Their marketing practices are the last to innovate. It's so far behind every other industry. It's weird. It's like, we say we're developing entrepreneurs, but if you're an entrepreneur in any other space resisting innovation and change, you're out of business, like ASAP.
Yeah. Do any of you feel that are watching, that your upline's holding you back a little bit, or they've done things the old school way, so that's the way they do it, and they're sharing with you to do it the old school way? And if you dare to go and venture and learn some of this stuff, you get shunned on, like, why would you do that? You're wasting your time. That doesn't work. Like, can anybody relate to what we're sharing? Yeah, I'd love to know.
Drop a number 6 in the chat.
Drop the 6s, guys.
And I say 6 for a reason, because this is like, if anyone have ever heard or read Outwitting the Devil with Napoleon Hill, basically the whole book is about how the devil is convincing you to do things or not do things that limit your potential, limit you achieving your potential. And that any influences that hold you back, that limit your potential, according to Napoleon Hill, that's how, the devil appears in our lives. I'm not
Right.
religious, but I love the analogy.
Yeah.
I love, and if you are religious, then that's really what the devil's here to do, is to limit what you can accomplish in this world and the impact you can have. And I love that idea. And so I chose 6 for a reason, because it's
Yeah.
like, if your upline is holding you back, they're not the devil, they're not bad people, but there's an influence there that is not serving you.
Mhm.
And it's limiting the impact you can have. It's, if it's something's limiting your success, it's going to limit the impact and the influence you can have in others. And
Mhm.
so you got to first of all be building online. That's number one, no
Yep.
matter what.
Yep.
And if your upline doesn't have ways for you to build online, or if they're teaching you a version of old school tactics and they're telling you to do it online, like cold messaging people or stalking the friends of friends and sending them cold messages, you know, that type of thing, or like being very, chasing people and being very needy, then that you're just doing old school stuff and you're doing it online, because all of a sudden the 3-foot rule is now everybody in the world, because the computer's 3 foot, in front of
Online.
you. My
Yeah.
computer's 3 feet in front of me, so I can prospect everybody
Exactly.
now. That's the 3-foot rule. And
Yeah.
so that's not that's that's not really building online. There's no leverage doing that. And so there's so many amazing things. I'm going to list off some of the opportunities here. Reels and TikTok. There's
Mhm.
probably no easier way to reach a cold market
Mhm.
than that, learning to master that medium. I mean, it's a short little video. And
Mhm.
then most people don't even say anything in the video. They record themselves doing something or walking, and then they put text in the video. So it's actually like a little mini article. And these things are going viral. It's like, this is like article marketing. This is not video marketing. It's just the what catches you is that it's in a video format, but it's like, there's like 10 paragraphs between the video and the description that basically makes a full article. And I was like, this is so simple. It's so much easier than what I was doing in the beginning, to build my business. And so that, like, and even then, here's where I'm gonna, there's that's like the starting point for going after a cold market. Even then, people are afraid of that. People are like, "Oh, I don't know how to use, this editor on my phone," and they like, they whinge and complain about like not being able to like figure out how to edit it. Like, there's literally this massive library of tutorials called YouTube, where you can search how to edit a video on Reels, or how to edit a video on TikTok, and there'll be people there's like mountains of videos of people teaching you how to
Yep.
do it step by step. And people just don't think, maybe I'll just search this on YouTube so someone can give me a tutorial. And so there's so many people like not doing it because they're afraid to do that strategy. They're afraid to mess up. They're afraid. But there actually has been no time in network marketing history where it's been easier to reach more people and reach them in mass. And you know better than I do, Helen. You've gone viral many times over on TikTok, millions of views of your videos, people blowing up your inbox wanting to buy your product and join you. And yet people today still resist it. And so when I say the future of network marketing is here, it means it's here. And if you're not taking advantage of it, you're holding yourself back. Now the devil is inside you. You're holding yourself back. You're having thoughts that convince you that you're not ready to do that yet, or you're not good with technology, or I'm not a social media person, or I'm not a technical person, or I'm not this, I'm not fill in the blank. All that talk is not serving you,
Yep.
because you're literally resisting the easiest way to possibly reach prospects that has ever existed in network marketing. Remember when got started attraction marketing, I was coding up websites. This is a million times easier, and yet there's people still that resist it. There's still that they don't want to invest to learn it. They don't want to try it. They're, make up all the excuses and not to do it. And so you gotta, like, that talk is not serving you. Here's how you need to talk to yourself. I don't know it yet, but I'm going to figure it out. And I'm going to make this work for my business. And for some of you, talking that way is going to make you really uncomfortable because it's not in alignment with how you think. It's not in alignment with your beliefs in yourself. But guess what? That's how you start reprogramming yourself. You start saying and doing the things that the person you want to become would say, not the person you are. The person you are has gotten to you to this point. And if you've been stuck for any length of time, that means the person you are is no longer serving to help you become the person you need to become. So you need to start behaving like the person you need to become, talking like the person you want to become in order to become that person. So your actions and your behaviors and your words come before your mindset. Some of you are spending hours and hours working on your mindset. Guess what? You can't work on your mindset. Like that is like the most unproductive thing you can do is work on your mindset. You guys need to work on your business, work on learning skills. And the more you start behaving like the person you're going to become, the more your mindset will change. Yeah. Your mindset is the last thing to change. And so that's the first thing. There's so many great and easy opportunities relative to how it used to be for building online, building in a leverage way, reaching more people than any time in human history. And yet I hear people making more excuses than ever. And so I think the double-edged sword of technology is that it's become so easy that we've just become softer. So therefore the new easy becomes hard. And so just shift out of that mindset, guys. That's the first thing. And the other thing is be around the people that are building in these new and innovative ways of building businesses. I was describing a system earlier today, like a student of mine who's built these funnels that basically literally book people on her calendar. Well, that's something I've taught for years. Our mutual friend Beck Sadek, her first year doing the strategy, she personally recruited 300 people. And those 300 people, the first time she talked to them was on the call where they were ready to sign up. They watched in her case, they watched the 30-minute video on their own. They booked the call with her on their own. And then they signed up on a call with her on her own. And she was just, not even the phone. It was like hopping on a Zoom or chat and basically enrolling people left and right who are already watched her video presentation, learned about her team, learned about her company, and we're going to get ready to sign up. She's a multiple 7-figure earner now. And then she's built systems that have revolutionized network marketing that I coached her on how to create. If she had been afraid of technology, she would have never built a 7-figure business. She wasn't afraid because she understood what hard was. Do you know the story about her sparkle bucket, Helen?
Yeah. Yep.
What was the story? Can you remember?
Well, she told it on stage in January, and I told her I need a sparkle bucket. But yeah, you share the story.
Yeah, she went door to door. She had built her business. She was building her business, and she had ran out of her warm market, and she's asking her upline, "What do I do? I'm really stuck." And her upline in her company told her, "You need to put together a sparkle bucket." And she's like, "What's that?" It's like, well, it's a bucket with all our cleaning products. You put little stickers and sparkles on them, and then you go door to door, basically offering to lend your cleaning products to your neighbors, and they get to use them. And if they like them, they can become customers. So she went door to door with a sparkle bucket for a full day, and actually ended up getting some customers that way. But she hated it. Obviously, it was like one of the most miserable things she ever did. And she did it for one day and then quit that strategy. So she understood what hard is, how hard it is to build a network marketing business the old way. So when I taught her my way, it was like she was all in. And I think 5-6 years later, she's a 7-figure earner. And it's just she just was she didn't know she wasn't social media savvy. She never used social media. She didn't know how to build websites or funnels or systems or technology. She didn't have that background, but she was willing to learn. And so if you say you're a technophobe or you're not a social media person or you're not a technology person, well, that's just all that it means is you're just affirming that you want to stay where you are and stay stuck.
Yeah, I think it's all in the attitude of no. I mean, I'm sure all of you listening or on the replay, you know the opportunity that's in front of you with social media. That's why you're all here. That's why you'd probably be listening. It's getting over that fear of the technology and not having a phobia of it and just, embracing it, learning it, trial and error. I think too many people, and I'm guilty of this, and you've told me off for this, is you want everything to be perfect before you go and do things, or you don't want to put your face on camera because you don't look right, or you think you're going to look like an idiot, or what are people going to think of me, or there's a million excuses under the sun not to embrace this kind of technology. But the quicker you fail forward and just go, oh, give it a go, well, that didn't work, you learn from it, you adjust. But there's so much opportunity for each and every one of you to embrace the technology side of it, but not waiting until you've got it all figured out. Would that be fair to say, Ferny? You just kind of fail forward and work it out as you go.
Yeah, there's a top earner that I'm coaching right now. She's a multiple six-figure earner in Mary Kay. She's been with the company for over 20 years.
Right.
She doesn't have a lot of experience with social media.
Yeah.
And the wonderful thing about coaching her is she's just willing to do anything and do it however she can.
Yep.
And I had to she was taking action. So I just started working with her. She started doing Facebook Lives. And she started doing Facebook Lives and doing demos of her products in Mary Kay. And she did the Facebook Lives, but there was no title or description of the live. She just would go live on her personal page. So it's like these videos, you'd see them and you wouldn't know what they were about.
Yeah, right.
And so she would go live, and I had to teach her here's how you add a description. So here's what I loved about her is A, she did it anyway. B, she actually got customers from doing those live video demos, even though there was no description about what the video was about. And when she added description, she got more customers after I coached her. So I'd rather coach that type of person where they're willing to mess up and do something that's not perfect. But now I get to review something and give them feedback and go, well, here, just tweak this thing. In her case, the tweak was add a description, add a headline, or add a title. Like Helen, the future of network marketing is here, like how to overcome technophobia and upgrade your business. She has the title on this live. And so you guys know what it's about and what we're going to cover. She didn't have any of that. Her reels, the same thing. She was just doing reels. There was none of the best practices for how to do reels effectively, but she did it anyway. And guess what? She got some customers. It was just like she did everything all wrong, but
it still got results.
It still got results. And I was able to coach her on how to improve it, as opposed to, I hate coaching somebody who wants me to review what they're going to post 10 times before they actually post it.
Yeah.
And they keep working on the same post over and over again. It's like, just post it. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Because the crazy thing, sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I'll coach somebody on something and it turns out what I suggested to them doesn't work, and something else they did ends up working better than what I suggested. I was like, awesome. That's how marketing is. You got to just try it and see what happens. And, for all I know, she would have done these titleless live videos and they might've gone viral. Who knows what happens? People discover stuff by accident all the time. So I love people just willing to jump in, mess up. And here's the other thing. No, if you mess up and if you do something silly, no one is going to remember.
True.
The internet has such a short memory.
Yeah.
And the only people that might remember are people that are built in the trenches with you, and you'll have a funny story to tell later, when you guys are having cocktails at your company event, but no one's going to remember. You guys, when Eric Worre started on social media, he was on the same social network I was, and that I was, such a strong influencer, and he was basically a spammer on that social network. It was like legit spam where the company owners of that social media network had to create what they called the Eric Worre rule, where they had to limit the amount of posts he can make because he was just flooding the platform with a bunch of content that just wasn't conducive. Does anyone remember that? No, I'm the only one that remembers that,
Yeah,
because I was
right.
like, no one else remembers that. I even have brought it up with him, and he almost like denies that it happened. I'm
Yeah,
like,
right.
nah, dude, you're a spammer, and that's okay. It's like he was willing to mess up to be great, to eventually figure out how to be great, and now like he's all over social media. He's crushed social media. He's like,
Yeah.
uh, and so
But
there you go. That's the lesson. Just
yeah.
do it.
It's like riding a bike, Fernie, isn't it? Like you get on a bike, you fall over. You don't go, I'm no good at that. I'm never doing that again. You just get on, you get better, you get your technique, you get your skill, and then away you go. And social media is, like that as well. How many of you know that you are holding yourself back from learning more about online or doing lives or doing reels or doing stories or showing your face or saying something on social media because you're worried about doing it the wrong way? Be honest. Put a 3 in the comments if you know that that's you. Like I'd love to, yeah, threes all over, I'm sure. But it's a great message. So in all of that, Fernie, how can you help? How can you help our audience?
Well, one of the things is you guys got to find what's going to work for you, what resonates with you. I'm not going to tell you you have to do reels. It's a great strategy. It's like one of the easiest things you can do to start getting, exposure in the cold market, people you don't know. However, for some people, they might like automation better. They might like something else that we teach or do. And so what's cool is that we have an environment where people can come and learn about all the different ways there is to build from people, experts who have built their network marketing business in that way. So we have an event in about 3 months called Digital Networker Live. That event is Helen Martin is definitely speaking at that event, and she'll be teaching on what has worked for her in building her network marketing business. But you're also going to learn from about 20 different top leaders in network marketing, 6, 7, and 8-figure earners, and I guess one 9-figure earner if we're talking about no, one 10-figure earner if he's done $1 billion in sales. You get to come to an event where it's an intimate environment and you can be in that environment physically or through live stream and learn from all these top earners who are succeeding right now today on how to build a network marketing business online. And they're each going to have a different way that they've done it. And that way, in one weekend, you can be exposed to a lot of different methodologies. And then you're going to go, that's what I want to do. That resonates with me. And so that's what I recommend you do. Get in an environment, be in a room where you can actually talk, network with these top earners. Don't go to a big convention. When you go to the big company conventions and everyone wants to rub the belly of the 7-figure earner because they want something to rub off on them. And so they crowd around them and no one can actually talk to them, but whoever got there first. Well, we're in an environment where no one does that. We're not going to crowd around anybody because the room is going to be full of 6, 7, 8-figure earners and above. And you'll be able to, and the room will be about 100 to 150 people, but there'll be 20 plus 6, 7, 8-figure earners who will be training there. And you can either participate in person, come to LA for that event on July 17th to the 19th. Wait, no, I'm sorry. No, July 18th to the 21st. I got the dates wrong. July 18th to the 21st, come to LA in person and be in that room, or at the very minimum, join us through live stream and attend that event. You have plenty of notice. You want to block off that entire weekend so that you have the opportunity to evaluate, to learn from the best in the world. This is not going to be the Ferny show where I'll actually be doing like 1 or 2 segments tops. This is going to be about putting forth our most successful students and the most successful people in network marketing who have built their business online. And they're each doing it a little bit differently. They're in different companies. and you'll be able to come learn from these legends. So speaking at this event will be Rob Sperry, Beck Sadek, we just talked about it, Helen, uh, Jonathan Budd, who's the guy who owns his own network marketing company now, who's done over $1 billion in his company. John and Nadia Melton, multiple seven-figure earners. Simon Chan, who's podcaster, MLM Nation. He's actually now partnered with us at Attraction Marketing, and he does coaching within our community. Vincenzo Senipoli, who's a former business partner of Fraser Brooks when they launched the Ninja Networker brand. Mike and Carla Shaw, who are TikTok experts. They really were one of the first in network marketing to really crush it with TikTok, and so many others. But one person in particular that's going to be training and speaking at that event is my mentor. He's the guy that actually started the attraction marketing revolution. Like, attraction marketing and people building online would not be what it is today without Mike Dillard. Mike Dillard is going to be speaking at that event, and we have a special announcement to make. But the short of it is, we've partnered with Mike Dillard on a really special project to help serve this network marketing space, because I'll tell you this much. We've partnered on creating a technology platform that we want to use to empower network marketers, and leveraging AI, leveraging automation, leveraging all the leverage you can possibly want, without having to do what I did initially and learn how to code or any of that stuff. Like, there's no coding required anymore. It's never been easier today to create automation and leverage in your business. You just got to be willing to do it, and you got to be willing to let go of the identity that has held you back, that identity of not being a tech person, not being a social media person. If you're willing to let go of at least talking to yourself in that way and affirm a different identity, then you'll start making progress. And being in an environment where everybody else is working on the same thing, there's no negative people, negative relatives, negative friends. Everybody is absolutely positive. And being in an environment where there's already network marketing and you get to network and talk to them in addition to learn from them. That's the biggest advantage of having an event like that. And so that's where the link is here, helenmartinonline.com/DNL. And you can get your ticket, live stream ticket, in-person ticket if you want. We also have a pre-event workshop. If those of you who want to learn the automation part of it and be a part of an automation workshop, AI automation workshop, then you can come to that pre-event workshop the day before the event, where we're going to do some implementation on how it is you actually can generate automated leads, have automated bookings on your calendar, get automated sales. That's what we're going to cover at that workshop. And then the main event the following 3 days is going to be all about our speakers and trainers and how they built their business. That's it. One thing also is there's going to be, for the first people who enroll tonight, I think these bonuses are almost out, but look at the bonuses on the page. There's a lot of bonuses. Couple of those bonuses are, you'll be invited if you were one of the first 10 to enroll tonight, because we just opened public ticket sales. You'll be invited to a taco mastermind where we're going to feed you tacos from a taco truck. And you'll get to hang out with myself and my mentors and some of our speakers at a private mastermind for 30 people, where we're going to hang out, eat tacos, and the tacos are on us. And so that'll be a bonus that will happen on Thursday night. And then also in the 8 weeks leading up to the event, the 2 months before the event, I will be doing doing these intimate group coaching sessions every Friday with every single attendee that enrolls. The first 40 attendees who enroll will be invited to a private group coaching session every single Friday for 8 weeks, where I can personally coach you on your business. Wow. So whatever you're working on, let's say you start working with Reels. Well, I can coach you on Reels and how to crush it with Reels, and what are the best practices for going viral. And if you're working on something else in your business, Facebook Lives, other social media platforms, I want to personally coach you and support you. And so, in addition to attending the event, you can have direct coaching from me. But as long as you're one of the first 10 or 40 buyers, depending on what bonus you want, there's more bonuses. There's more things that are expiring next week. Some additional training on the different ways of building a network marketing business online that we're also including with your ticket. But I say those are the two big ones: hanging out with me and getting free tacos, and some of our speakers, and then also being able to be part of a group mastermind that I'll be doing every single Friday, where I can coach you. It's limited to 40 people. Not everybody shows up, and uh, um I'm making sure that I'll have one-on-one time with you in those sessions.
Amazing. And you forgot the best bonus is that I'm going to be there, Ferny, and they get to hang out with me as well.
Oh,
You
yeah,
forgot
oh yeah,
that.
Helen's gonna be there too. Yeah.
I can't wait. I
Well,
love
of
my
course. Well,
American.
Helen, I mean, talk about, again, this is part of like, I really don't want to be mean because I love network marketing, but I think Eric Worre did a post where he was saying is like, I think network marketers have gotten soft, and I was like, that's kind of mean coming from Eric. But then I was like, but actually, he's kind of right. He's kind of right, because Helen Martin was somebody, when she got started with us, traveled from Australia to the US uh, at least a half a dozen times as a student, not as a speaker, as a student, to come learn from our community, be a student, attend our events, attend our masterminds, our workshops. There was no live streaming back then. And there was no live stream option. And so the fact that Helen did that, and she already traveled to the US once this year for our event earlier this year. She's doing it again in July. I mean, talk about somebody that's willing to do whatever it takes to be around the people that are going to move her business forward. Even today, as successful as she is, she knows she's only scratched the surface of what her potential is. So I even said, has like, Helen, I don't want you to travel too much. We're having these two events in 2024. If you can at least make one of them, that'd be great. I know it's really hard on you and your family, to do this. And she's like, got back to me. She's like, I'm going to go to both events. And I'm like, okay, if you want to. Like, I know it wasn't so much the money, it's just the coordination with her family. She has kids, and then the travel was brutal. Like, I don't know what is it like? It's basically a full 24 hours of travel, I think.
It's between 20 and 30 hours of
Yeah,
travel.
20 to 30 hours of travel for one weekend. And Helen has done that at this point, how many times? Like eight,
I think it'll be my 12th in July.
12th. Oh my God, I was even like lowballing you.
Yeah.
So again, and so today we have live stream. So we made it easier. And then still we get people that go, well, I don't know. I'm like, I had plans with some friends to go to dinner on Saturday, so I don't know if I can make the event. And I'm like, so wait, you want to build a six-figure business, but you're not willing to like reschedule a dinner with your friends to be around people that can help you get there? So that's like what I'm talking about. The easier we make it, the new easy becomes the hard. So all of a sudden, devoting an entire weekend from home is the new hard, as opposed to before. The hard back then was actually traveling from Australia to the US. So just it's about just letting go the excuses, commit yourself to being somebody who's going to be tougher and grittier than anybody else. And the good news, it's probably easier today than ever before to be better than everybody else. Because people just make so many excuses, but it's just never been easier. So come to Digital Networker Live, come hang with us, come hang with Helen. We got some funny stories. If you want to buy Helen a cocktail, that's part of the story.
I'm a margarita. I'm a margarita. Ferny's a tequila.
Yes. I have no stories of tequila. But let's hang out, have some drinks. There's a lot of networking. We have lots of parties happening, and it's going to be fun. And there's some options for you to upgrade your ticket so that you can have access to more of those networking opportunities. But guess what? The room is so small that even if you don't upgrade your ticket, you're still going to be running to so many of our speakers and trainers in the hallways and before and after the event. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is, and what I love about it is it's not network marketing company specific. Like it's generic. It doesn't matter what company you're attached to, what you do, what your thing is. It's about people in the industry that are learning to build online, no matter what company that you're in. And we're all embracing of everybody's companies, and there's no, none of that stuff goes on where they're all to learn and grow online. So it's a really safe space, and it's just awesome to be able to pick the brains of people in other companies and other skills and expertise, and it fills my cup. I love it, so I can't wait to get there. And I'll be escaping our winter again, come to your summer, so that's a big bonus for me in Australia as well.
Yep.
So we've been here. Sorry, go on.
It's in Los Angeles, so it's not going to be as sweltering hot like Vegas, where you usually have the event.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to be 120 degrees. It'll probably be 90 degrees around that time in the summer. So the weather's going to be great. We're near the beach. So when the event's done, you can head to the beach, if you want to stay an extra day and have some fun at our LA beaches. Whatever you think of living in LA or Southern California, that's where I live. You can't beat the weather. So, and I think pretty much Helen could say the same thing about where she lives in Australia.
Absolutely. I can't wait. So no excuses, guys. Like, if you could be there in person, fantastic. But Ferny has made available the online version as well, so you can join, from the comfort of your own home. Obviously, better in person to rub shoulders and have conversation, but at least it's an option.
Yeah, and obviously for the Taco Mastermind, you got to be there in person, and we're almost out of those spots. Yeah, but regardless of whether you do live stream or in person, you'll have the opportunity to get coaching from me for 8 weeks leading up to the event.
Yeah, don't take that for granted, guys. I know, like, Ferny has helped me. That's how, I've got to where I have with his mentorship and training, and he's helped me a lot along the way. I just so appreciate you, Ferny, and I appreciate you sharing all this time with our audience here. So we've talked long enough. We'll get off, but please help me thank Ferny for his time, his wisdom, his thoughts, the opportunity that he's bringing to you, and go and grab your ticket, whether it's in person or online. We'd love to have you a part of it. So thank you, Ferny. Really appreciate you and all your time here today.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you for your leadership. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.